guys, welcome to Music at the Marsh. Today is Monday and I'm with Gator Groove. I'm very excited for this. I think they're really cool.
Yay!
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Hi guys, I'm the lead singer, Indi. I'm Axel, I'm the president of the Gator Groove Club.
I'm Nia Norfleet. I am the vice president and drummer.
And my name is Spencer Lightsy, and I'm the staff advisor for the group. So a couple years ago, I was working in the Office of Admissions, and there was a guy, Chris Bell, and so we had a band called Admission Possible. And so we'd always talked about wanting to have something involving students in the band. So we've had students back on staff that we play together. And then about maybe 3 years ago, we met the student Irvin Serlano at an event and been reaching out to him about getting an organization going. And then last year, in fall of 2022, started the group Gator Groove, and then began to bring in other members from there, and then it's progressed from there.
The milestone would be going to Tennessee to a bass band camp.
Oh, for real?
We went there for about a week. Basically, we did like volunteer work, and they would let us. Keep going. And they would let us basically like just jam out with these incredibly experienced bass players, and there was a lot of different people. There was like a sitar player. Mm-hmm. It was a very, I guess, like unique experience. I've never experienced anything like it.
Not all over the world, like at least from America. There were so many people from different places there, and all of them are not ordinary. They're super talented, all of them, every single one of them. And it was not only like a musical experience, it was more like learning about yourself too. And like I learned a lot, and I kind of found peace.
Yeah, we were very lucky that Victor Wooten he wavered it all for us, and just like for him to have us there, it was such an honor, because he's an incredibly talented bass player.
We also went to that, I wasn't sure the name of the place that we were walking through.
Beale Street.
Beale Street.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was so cool, like seeing, especially for me, because like I just moved from India, so like going to these kind of new places that I've never really like familiarized myself with, it was really dope. It was cool.
It was like
sounds really exciting.
We went to like this little street lane where everything was like, everything's kind of close, so everybody's walking, and there's a lot of like music themed stuff. You see like guitars on like those lights, those neon lights. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Like it's stuff you only see in movies.
I really think that's awesome. I love when like groups like have like more than just like these are the people I work with type thing. Like you guys are like actual friends.
I definitely think that this group, like, just when you're playing with people, it's like you're not just talking with them, you're like expressing a feeling, and I feel like we've just all gotten together like because of that love for music. And I guess it's also like the trip too. We all got really close there because we were pretty much like living there. It was really nice. We all have this like family vibe together.
That's sweet.
So, cause like even if I think about like my friends in college, I have a lot of friends in this college, but like if I think that someone that's close to my heart, someone I could rely on, or you know, someone who has my back, it would probably be this Gator group
That's
band.
so sweet,
They're like
guys.
my other families.
Yeah, and I'm obviously a lot older, and so I would agree with all of that. With music being something that brings us together, but then also the trip where it's you're around everyone 24/7, and so you get to know each other's history, background, all that. And then that translates to when you're on stage, it's like it's not just another musician, this is someone you know, and nuances and all those things. And so, so it was a great time. I'd agree with that.
Yeah, we talk about it a lot where it's like, if you can be a great musician and like know all the notes and stuff, but to like actually, to fully be present about the fact that you're playing with other people and you're like joining together to feel that you're with a community, it's something else,
For sure.
If you're just doing just your role, you're not really there.
Are there like any songs you guys like really love to play together, or like alone, or like,
Your favorite?
My favorites are like Doing Time, Cigarette Daydreams.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Me and Axel kind of played this together, but Lost on You by LP. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that
Very
song.
fun.
Yeah.
Or what's it called? Feelings. What's it called?
Pick Up Your Feelings.
Pick Up Your Feelings.
That's a really good song.
Groovy song.
It's really
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, I think like I don't know. I like all the songs he played, but I think "Movie" by Tom Misch, like the bass line is just so nice. It's so smooth and it doesn't like overpower. It just carries everything.
It's a very chill song, but at the same time, it keeps you entertained and it keeps you hooked.
Yeah.
Like it's super chill, It's just like other R&B, but like it's a really good song.
Yeah.
What about you, Mia? What are some of your favorites?
Favorite song that we play?
Or that we play or that you like?
Honestly, I feel like all of us coming from different cultures, and the fact that we experiment has been really cool. To just pick one, maybe probably the cumbia one. I mean, maybe because I'm the drummer and I like doing the cumbia beat, but it's not that. It's just everything that we do play is just so unique, and even if we make our like own interpretation of popular songs, like our style, the flavor that we bring to it, I feel like it's more unique than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're really into improvising too. Another thing is like I'm trying to bring some of my culture in here. So this is not just a band. It's more like we are all putting something in the table. We're all learning and stuff like that. So we've been planning on like learning some Hindi songs or like Tamil songs, and we're working on that. So
Yeah.
Daisy fans, we're coming. We're there. We're getting there.
Oh, yeah.
Representation,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, the song that Mia was talking about is called Cumbia de los Pájaros, by the way.
Oh yeah.
That was really nice. Yeah, but you've been there for a lot of like our like originals or our little riffs that we jam out to sometimes, and she does bring a lot of like she'll bring in some African beats, and I just like we all just love it. We're like, whoa, that's so like that's different. Let's actually keep this going and let's add on to it, and we all like add.
And we're all big on improvising. Like we're always like trying to find one or the other thing to improvise and do it our style. So
Yeah,
And
the
I
Gator
find-
groove style.
the Gator group style.
Yeah.
I find that's where that familia and the cohesiveness come into play.
Yeah.
Because like being at UHD in general, I feel like everybody has this sense of family because it is a very like small campus, but in a big campus in a big way, where there's like a place for everyone. Seek and you shall find. And obviously, we have in each other in this group, and I find like our friendships, our family, like I mean, even people coming into the group can find a place within it, simply because like I feel like all of us are really, really nice, really different,
Right.
and like you can vibe with someone on this thing. Oh, I'm a CS major or a CST major. Oh no, I'm a part of CHSS. Like, and like everybody's so proud.
MIS major myself.
And everybody's like so proud of being like what they are and who they are, no matter if they're gay, straight, whatever. Like everybody's so like proud of like what they represent, and like I feel like people really respect that as well.
Right.
So that's something that I like about our group. Like everybody's involved, who's musicians and people who are helping us, because like it's a whole community of us, not just like people who are in the band. So that's something else that I like really enjoy too.
I totally agree, because even when I just, when I started like showing up to the band practices and everything, I felt so welcomed, and it didn't matter, where I came from, what knowledge I had, because I did sing for like quite a bit of a time, but like I had no prior knowledge to it, and it didn't matter, and I just fit in easily.
Yeah, I think that's something that we've gotten a lot, like from the new people that they tell me a lot, like, man, like I thought, or they'll say like, oh, I've been to other clubs, but it doesn't feel like this one. This one, like, I can just come here and chill, jam.
Yeah.
Like I can just jump in and like be myself, and with other ones I feel a little too scared to speak. I'm just like, well, speak
Just
with your
feels like
guitar.
home. Yeah.
I mean, and so much of that, with starting the group, that, I mean, you'll probably hear us reference Victor a bunch, but that's so much of his influence, where his mom was like, what does the world need with another good musician? We need more good people. And also his concept and mindset of learning music, where it's not about you're a novice, intermediate, and then advanced and stay segmented in that, but the way to really learn music is to take someone who's a novice and let them jam with an expert, and that's really how you learn. That's how we learn a language. You have an infant that becomes a toddler that is in essence jamming with the experts, which are the adults in that language. And that's what we try and create an environment like that, where anyone at any music level can feel welcome as part of Gator Groove, and may not be playing, like you mentioned, at the House of Blues with these guys that are more advanced, but to enable them to jam with these guys, get them up to that level of proficiency, and then give them opportunities to do things like playing at the House of Blues.
Yeah, that's so
And
real.
I think, was anybody talking? Like,
No.
sorry, no, yeah, because I can't hear. Oh yeah, by the way, so I know it's for irony purposes. I am the drummer, but I am completely deaf in my left ear and have hearing loss in my right ear, so just a little tidbit there. But yeah, but no, I definitely agree with that. Obviously, with Mr. Lightsy being older, I mean, he still looked like he's probably like in his mid-20s.
I totally agree on you.
But yeah, no, like even me, like I've been playing percussion for the last 17 years. I'm trying to perfect my craft, and I can take something away from Mr. Lightsy, and like I'd be surprised if he's ever taken anything away from me as well. Just like Indi, who's probably haven't been singing as long, but still she brings a certain style. She brings certain knowledge to like what she has. Same as Axel, like it's an environment to not only learn and grow, because like that's something that I really like about music, is that you're always a beginner. You're always learning something. Because like you can be like the best of the best, but there's still a style, there's still a technique or whatever, or a skill that you could learn to be able to translate to other styles. That it's like, oh wow, that's really different. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And that goes back to with there's always, like you said, always going to be room to grow, and so you never really arrive as a musician. And again, that's one of the things Vic talks about, where it's like, you have a goal in front of you or what you want to be, and so you can feel less and like, oh, I'm not able to do that yet. But he says it's always important to turn and look back and remember and see how far you've come. I look at some of the videos when I was first playing at the House of Blues with Chris Bell, and it's like, man, just so raw, be up there, Chris had his papers, reading off his paper, and I'm just basically keeping time on bass. And to see where it is now, it's like, man, that's really is a lot of growth. And there are amazing musicians around the city that were not at that level yet. And so it's easy to be intimidated and not, we're not there yet. But no, be appreciative of where you are, strive to continue to get better, but also don't lose sight of how far you've come along the way in the journey.
100%.
That's something I can definitely relate to, because even when I went to Victor, Vic's camp, basically I see so many people. I see little kids singing like crazy, and I'm like, I felt like shit. Am I allowed? I felt like I was useless. I'm like, dude, I am 19 and what have I done? Like, what? These people are so passionate.
Yeah.
That kid Maza, right?
Yeah.
She was like 8 years old, 7 years old, and they're like so talented and so passionate about something. And I'm like, I have the same passion, but like, what have I been doing? So, but when I was talking to Mr. Victor and he was telling me like, oh, you should bring your own style to it. And then I kind of realized how like, no matter how much good you can be, you should always bring out something from your side. So you just don't like get mixed in one of those 100 people that are singers, but you're like unique and you have your own thing.
Yeah.
So working on that, we'll get there.
Right.
Going back on band practices, like the stuff you're saying, how it's like a welcome community. Can you guys like elaborate on that? Like, why do you think that is?
Most of us are introvert and an extrovert at the same time. We know what the other person feels, or like we try to bring them out of the show. We make fun of them. We're like, come on, like we're just like bringing in the mood. And like I thought Axel hated me in the beginning, but the more I got to know, I was like, oh, we're just like we're all introvert. At some point, we all are like socially awkward, and but the more I started hanging out, the more I felt like, okay, you know what, this is it, this is my band kind of thing. And so many people have told me that they've never felt alone, because another thing is like this semester especially, because there's so many new like people joining the band, everybody is with someone. Like you're never seeing someone like sitting alone by themselves, doing their own thing. Everyone, if I see one of my friends like sitting in the corner doing their own thing, I go up to them and I'm like, hey, what are you doing, kind of thing. And we all have that like this mentality to like check up on each other, and they're like, oh, let's do this, like bring everyone together.
That is so true. I do that too.
Yeah,
it's a multicultural brigade bunch.
Yeah, like if I see somebody at the piano and like and everybody else is like playing or whatever, like I'll go talk to them. I'll be like, yo, what are you doing right here?
So,
at least I can jump on bass, like
So we all like go to make sure like nobody's left alone, because we've all like have come from certain scenarios or situations where we've been left alone, and we know how that feels. Yeah. So especially for me, because I didn't have friends till 7th grade, so like we would just make sure everyone is in our space, so we should make sure they're fine and they're enjoying it fully.
I think that's definitely true when especially when people bring other people over, because like they'll come to a few of our practices even if they don't play anything, and they'll be like, oh my gosh, hey, you should come and meet them, and then that person just starts talking to us and vibing with us. Like that's probably like maybe
we have so
part.
many groupies who don't play anything, they don't sing, and they're just chilling there, and we love that. We love them.
They are the best.
Yeah, they're the best.
I was gonna say like I feel like another reason why people feel like comfortable is because since we're out here, in the Gator Den, it's an open area. I feel like, and actually, like a lot of new people have told me that they started out watching us first. Like they would just hang out in the Gator Den, sitting in the chairs, and they would just watch us, listening to how we talk, and that way, like it gives a chance for people to like build up to courage to come and talk to us, and they get to see how somebody else would interact, an extrovert, how they would talk to us.
Or
like that,
even like it would make them feel like, okay, they're talking about this thing, and I can relate to that, or like I can like that. So me and my friends watch K-drama like in the Gator Den, and someone else sees it, then they start talking about it, and that's how they come to us, and they're like, oh, you're watching this K-drama, blah blah blah. That's how you just see something you relate to, we can go talk. So that's something I'm glad that it's in an open space.
And so often people can feel intimidated with music performance, where it's like if you don't feel good enough. But when they're able to, like you guys are mentioning, able to observe and see, and say, okay, you know what, they're, regular students just like me. Some of them may be better musically than I am, but there doesn't seem to be any hierarchy of how people are treated based on how well they play, but how they are as a person. And that's a welcoming environment to begin to learn to play. Because if you came into an environment where it's very segmented and rigid, and it makes it tougher to engage in that. But when they can see, it's just
It's
people that
true,
happen
yeah.
to be playing music, this is a
Yeah.
place where I can, be willing to be vulnerable and say, well, I'm just learning and a beginner, and then where they've seen you guys, show other people how to, just some basic things, how to improve and take them on that next step in the process that makes it, easier for someone to engage. So, and that's huge.
I
That's,
feel like
yeah.
I definitely felt that with like the Victor Wooten, like going to Nashville and stuff, because that's how it was. I was like you too. Like I was like, man, I'm like intimidated.
Yeah.
Like
We were like
I'm just
having
a little bass
breakdowns.
player here, and everybody's got
Oh,
this
no.
cool
Right,
basses
yeah.
with like 6 strings and all this crazy stuff,
Is
And
it
at first,
okay.
like,
I'm sorry.
yeah, at first I was just like kind of intimidated, but I was like, I don't know if I want to play around these people. I'm gonna, but it's the same thing. Like I saw how they were interacting with each other, and how they're just like, no, like come up here, like get on stage, let's
Yeah.
jam, like
They're like, go sing
okay,
and everything.
Yeah,
So-
and so it's like it's incredible because you realize you started taking like, man, these really are just these are just people. They're not better than me. If anything, like what I noticed is that everybody just played differently. There was no like
The
this was
same
better.
thing.
This one like it's like everybody had their own style, and that's what you kind of like have to switch your brain like that too. Of like, you know what, this person isn't any better than me. I just play something else. I just play differently.
Definitely.
You know.
I was definitely like, my confidence was shattered and everything looking at all these amazing talents. But then when Mr. Victor like called me to the stage to sing with him, that was it for me. I was like, you know what, I made it. I don't care what whoever says what. I am a singer and I do not care like how better are, because they've been trained. I have no training. Like I haven't got any training or anything. I did get a little classical training, but that was for like 6 months, and you can't really go to like, oh my god, extreme level for 6 months. I do know a lot of Carnatic songs and everything, but at the same time, Western music, it was all self-taught, based on my passion, based on my interest. It was all self-taught. So like seeing that I've come up so far, I'm like, I should be proud of myself, because
I think that's an important point to bring up as far as like performing, because I play a lot of different styles as a percussionist, and what I find about the performing arts in general is that people just automatically think that they can't do it because anybody in performing arts is always coming from classical training. And like for me, I did grow up as doing classical training in a lot of different genres and stuff like that. So I'm not a good I'm not a good one for that. But I always try to bring people in, no matter what genre it is, to be like, hey, like, it's going to be a little difficult because learning any new language is going to be difficult. Learning any new lifestyle is going to be difficult. But once you start to take these little building blocks and be able to piece them together, then you'll be able to see like, oh, hey, actually, this is not that hard of a concept. It's just a bigger picture of this small little brick here. So I think that's just something important that people don't really think about too often. They just go for the big picture rather than like, the small little details. Well, oh, hey, it's just a simple hold of a stick or me coming closer to a microphone. It's not all about like, the perfection of it. It just it's about like passion, how we talked about. Because like some people can say that passion can only take you so far, but I feel like passion takes you the furthest than anything else.
That's definitely true.
Because like I've met plenty of talented people, but their mindset, their passion, stuff like that wasn't there. So like they couldn't go further than where they were.
Than what they knew.
Going back to your point earlier about like the environment that's created. So this group was started after I had first met Victor, and after I had been to the camp the first time when I went by myself, and seeing someone who is a world-class musician and definitely, the best musician at that camp, and I don't think anyone would debate that. But when you see someone like him who's at the pinnacle of, music performance, not engage with people like that, just like a regular everyday dude. He's waiting in line to get food like the rest of us. He's, bringing his dishes to the kitchen like the rest of us. He's, you know, when we're doing the prep work, we were, you know, up in the attic of the barn. He's up, you know, helping hang the stuff up. You know, when Chris got stuck in the mud, you know, me and Vic hop in the 4-wheeler, and Vic is out there helping push, you know, get Chris out the mud. And so that was like my first real interaction of what a superstar musician is. And so I'm like, oh, this is what a superstar musician, you gotta be able to be a down-to-earth cat and just bring people in. And so that's kind of like set the template for this, and that's kind of just continued where, because I'm rarely down there. You know, I'll pop in, you know, I'm not in a meeting, say what's up to you guys, how things are going. And so it's like you guys are continuing that, creating that environment where it's, nah, come on in, you know, play if you want, don't if you don't, that's cool. You know, we're going to play. Feel free to pop up, you know, if you want to. Yeah.
Because, like, that's something I would really agree on, because when I said about, like, I've been learning life lessons and everything, is that person is, like, so talented, you know, so, like, rich, and, like, you know, and still he's the most down-to-earth person, you know. He doesn't, because we know a lot of people, they have a little money, but they have so much headway, and, you know, they're just like, oh, yeah, you know, I'm everything. They're not. And you see these kind of people, and then you realize this is the people you're supposed to be, and, you know, nothing like that, because you got to keep yourself down to earth, you know. You got to be humble, or else you're not going to get anywhere ahead in your life. So,
I remember the first time I went there, I actually flew there the first time. And so, I think I told you guys this story, but for those that don't know. So I flew there, and so their camp is about maybe an hour and a half from the airport in Nashville, so I had nowhere to get there, so I'm calling the number for the camp, and so I'm thinking I'm talking, you know, just secretary or office assistant, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know, how do I get there? And they're just taking Uber, and the lady was like, no, yeah, you can't take an Uber, that'll be too expensive, and they weren't having shuttle service at this one, so she was like, no, I'll come get you. And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, great, you know, what a great organization. And so I'm there at the airport. And so as, you know, it's like leading up to the day of arrival. And then as I'm there, I'm getting these texts. I'm like, she was talking about, oh, you know, I'm going to be late because, you know, our oldest is taking SAT. And I'm like, hour? I'm like, who is this lady? And then like starting to put two and two together. I'm like, this is his wife, man. So it's his wife, Holly. And so she's involved. It's a partnership that runs the camp. And I'm like, this is an amazing example of what it is like to be like a down-to-earth celebrity that's still engaged. It's like, so the first time I'm ever meeting her, it's like, you know, her and her, they had, I think at that point they had both of the kids in the van. So she got there because the other kid had soccer practice. So, you know, coming to pick me up, picks me up. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. I said, hey, I have nowhere to be. It's fine if you're late, no problem. So she picks me up at the airport. So we're driving back towards the camp, and then she's like, listen, man, I can't take you the whole way. I got to stop halfway, and some other guy's going to come pick you up. So I'm like, all right, so from one stranger to another. So drop off, meet this guy, Alex, a student up at Berkeley, also a bass player. And, so switch up vehicles and then ride the rest of the way with him. And so that was my introduction to what it was like to being part of the, Wooten Woods community. And so that has shaped so much of my idea and mindset of what it is to be a musician.
They're just normal people, and it's just so amazing.
Yeah, it definitely is crazy to think that like your favorite artists are just like, you know, eating lunch on a Sunday.
And that was the insane part. We're like, dude, we just ate lunch, dinner, like we stayed with him entire week with this 5-time Grammy winner person, so like it was really dope.
You guys do stuff for the university, right? Like events, stuff like that? Do you do like your own stuff? I thought I heard someone mention like writing stuff or like producing their own music.
We are working on our some like original songs, you know. We, believe us or not, we would make a song and we just leave it there. We're just like, okay, next one, let's go to another one now, kind of thing. So, but now we're working on like actually writing an actual song, you know, like recording it and stuff.
One with an actual title.
Yes, with an actual title.
Not like demo 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We definitely want to start like publishing music and stuff. I have a friend that works actually at she's in like what's it called, UT Austin, and she works for like the radio station there, and she said, hey guys, y'all ever record something, like I can get you on Spotify, I can get you on the radio for like
That's
the whole
really
school and
cool.
stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, for sure. We just gotta record it, you know. We have somebody who has like a set up studio already, so we're gonna
that's
see
awesome.
if we can make some stuff there. I'm setting up my own studio too for my stuff, and you know I'm gonna have y'all. Too.
Yeah, let's make it. Let's do it.
So we're definitely like trying to move things on. We have to like be doing it at our houses because we don't have a room yet. But that's something that I'd like to work on like in the future, to like have a place where we can record and like mix and like take out our Focusrite's solos and stuff, and you know just get everybody and be like, okay,
Make
this
it
is
an
sound we're
actual
recording. Let's go start from finish, you know. So we definitely have some
Definitely,
plans.
I think we would love that because I feel like if we could at least if we make 10 songs, I'm sure at least one of the songs will get attention.
Sure.
Because we're not just playing for funsies, we're like actually good at what we do, and we know that
And then
for
you're
sure.
gonna promote us.
Yeah, I got you.
But the best part is like everybody is so humble. Like everybody's like not modest because like I feel like everybody's so comfortable where they're like, you know what, I'm enough.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not like, oh, I'm better than you. And I think that's another reason why people find our relationship so attractive, because like even though everybody's so comfortable at where they're at, they can also still learn. They still can grow, but still have a little fun with it. I mean,
we pull everybody up. You know, we plug everybody in. We're like, hey, like just the other day I was talking to somebody and they're like, oh, well, I'll lend you this. And I'm like, oh, I actually have one already. Oh, they're like, oh, what else you need? Oh, I'll get you this. And it's like, oh, I actually bought one like recently. We're all like trying to help each other out, you know.
And even after performances and everything, you know, we talk about it and we're like, okay, Indi, you know, you need to work on this. Axel, you know, we need to do this. And, you know, drum player, anything. We work on our performances and we always try to give our 100% on the next show. And, you know, we just thrive like that. But yeah.
Good. Would you guys still be Gator Groove, or would you think of something else?
I think
For
Gator,
What do you mean
Like
for
the
like the
name?
name?
Yeah, like when you put stuff out, would you just stick with Gator Groove?
I mean, we'd probably do like both, you know, because I mean that's kind of what we've been doing. Like we have our own stuff to the side, and then we have our Gator Groove like set list. You know?
Oh yeah.
So it's a little bit both.
we'll see when we get there. We'll let you know.
Oh yeah, I'll do another interview with you
Bet.
guys. My show's all about local artists and stuff.
I love that.
Great. And that's also been part of the vision in terms of Gator Groove, where it's, you know, the vision isn't for it to be a 4 or 5 piece band and that's it. It really is a music organization. And then within that organization, you know, bands would naturally develop based on styles, relationships, all of those things that comprise of making a band. And so, you know, the hope would be, say we had, you know, 40 or 50 people and a couple bands that are built out of that, you know, with unique music styles and genres.
Yeah, I definitely I tend to see it, you know, it's just like sometimes I'll walk in after like getting like something like getting some lunch or something, and I'll see like naturally the little groups that are forming,
yes,
you know, or I'll like hear somebody play something, I'm like, you know what, you go to like Irvin or go to somebody, you know, I'll recommend them, like, dude, this is like so their style, you could totally work with this, like, on, you know.
And on the other side, you just hear laughters and like people talking. It's just like a whole little community.
It's really a community.
Yeah.
Like, literally, come to the Gator Den Mondays and Wednesdays
Yeah.
from 12 to 5. It's like a whole coffee shop over there.
That's
Like a little jazz cafe, but like with different cultures, music. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, we literally we go walk to lunch together and stuff. Like, you know, we come back, all right, lunch break over, let's get back to jamming. It's so fun.
Yeah.
It really is.
That's awesome. I love the concept of Gator Groove, and I love the relationship you guys have. That sounded like a lot weirder when I said it out loud, but you guys are just.
See, you know, it's weird because it's weird. It sounds weird because it's not a normal thing to encounter. You know, because there's so many walls put up and people kept at arm's distance. So when you encounter a group of people that doesn't do that, it does come across as weird. It's like, oh, because it's like that's not what my usual interaction or experience is
Yes.
when I go and meet another group. And yeah, it's not. I don't think. Not that we're necessarily trying. I think it's just a natural extension of who we are and what we're trying to create.
I think also with the acceleration of like social media and like technology and stuff like that, it brings people together but also apart in a way.
True.
And then
Yeah.
to have something like
definitely.
music that's so impactful
Yeah.
of each one of our cultures, that brings us all together, and it's so personal that people naturally gravitate towards it. But I can see like how it can be a little intimidating because like now people are not as social as like maybe how when you were coming up.
Right.
Like how I'm coming up is like people like, hey, and then like,
That's
okay,
it.
you have a great day.
Yeah.
Oh, you too. And then like, you know what I mean? Have a great lunch, you too. What? So like,
I guess
yeah,
that's, like,
people are just
another
like
thing.
not actively like, engaged anymore, and like have a group that's so engaged with not only the members but the outside community as well.
Mhm.
Is I think is what's really special in that sense.
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
I feel like other club meetings, you could just do it over Zoom, and it's like whatever.
Right.
But like for this one, like you have to be there,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, it's literally like, dude, you had to be there. Like,
Physically, like yeah.
Playing instruments over Zoom. I've seen the videos. It's kind of funny, but yeah. But yeah, it's definitely easy to feel insecure when you're like surrounded by a bunch of people who are like totally good, and like you might be like the best player ever, but if you yourself think you're not good, then like it won't matter.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think it's really awesome that you guys try to bring people out of their shells, try to make them feel comfortable. It seems like a really great community, and yeah, I just really admire you guys for that, because there's a lot of people who are very talented but can be kind of shy around like newer people, especially with music, because it's such like I don't want to say skill-based thing, but like it's a little
No, you're 100% right. Yeah, it's skill-based and also expectations.
Oh, yeah,
and
for sure.
You hit the nail on the head with that, absolutely.
Believe me or not, in my high school, I'm a sophomore right now. In my high school, nobody knew I sung. Like, nobody knew that I was a singer. Nobody had an idea that I could sing, or like, I had so much passion towards it. But when I first moved here, in my Gator group and everything, and I'm like, and I started to feel confident, I think I did mention it before too. Like, it got me out of my shell and made me feel like, okay, you're doing a great job. It gave me the confidence. So
Yeah, now it's Indi the singer. Like, yeah, this Indi, this our singer. That's literally how I introduce you all the time. Like, no matter who I'm introducing you to.
That's cool.
so
Like, I would have to agree, because even though I've been playing percussion for a long time, people have been trying to get me to play drum set for the longest time, and I never, believe it or not, never played drum set before playing in this band. So, for y'all to give me the opportunity, the platform to be able to play it, but also be like, yeah, you're actually decent. I'm like, what's good?
no, wait, what do you mean? Really good.
Look at her.
It has been really nice, because like for me, drum set in particular, even though it's an American invention and all that sort of stuff, can be really intimidating. You have a lot of different moving bits and pieces, and like you're in charge of like sometimes the groove, sometimes the time, like so like being able to be in a space where I can actually like make mistakes, but also it can be okay to be like, okay, like let's try this again, let's try something different or something else, like has been really cool as well.
Definitely.
Like, I think a lot about like, man, when I'm out of here, like, what am I leaving the students? How are they gonna like know how to run it or whatever? Because because before me, Irvin Solano, the one that he was the one that like he was the president, and he was the one that took care of everything. Like, he always told us like, you guys come and jam, like don't worry about anything, right? And like we love that. We're like, oh, that's so cool. If we have a problem, we'd always come to him, and it would solve itself. But when he like left, because he just got busy with work and stuff, it was like, man, what do I do? And I became president, and then now there's like all these things that I want to do for the group, but I just didn't know how to do. So I had to go and like figure that out too. So I'm thinking about it like, okay, whoever is president next, like I want to be able to give them like a layout, you know, especially like with the Constitution, like give them actually like, you know what, this is how it goes, this is how it's run, like, you know, not like a very specific schedule, but just like guidelines to be like, okay, this is what's next, you know.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Or like this is what we would expect you to do to run the.
Yeah. So I have like I said, like I do have a lot of plans for especially for like what to get for the group and stuff. Like I want to get an electric drum set. I want to get an acoustic drum set.
Nice.
Right now we're working with what we got. So we do have an electric drum set, but it's not working very well. But we work with it. We got a cajon. We have like a specific setup to make things sound like drums.
We use the table, like, what is it called? It's a
It's
table.
like
the coffee table, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
like
we
when you
use
sing
that
drums.
as a base. So that's how creative we are.
That's
You
awesome.
know, a bunch of artists together in a room, and this is
You
what
gotta
we
work
come up
I mean,
with.
hey, like,
Yeah,
I
you got your
improvise
own-
the best
you got
I
your own
can,
style.
okay?
Yeah, and so I want it to be like that. Like I said, like I am looking forward to a room sometime. I don't think we're gonna get it while I'm president, but that's something that I definitely like look forward to, because I want to have a space where people can like come and drop off their instruments, go to class, come back, pick it up. You know, a room where we can soundproof it, and
Right.
we can have like guitar stands and just
That's
things like that. That's like a dream of mine.
That's something we really want, because sometimes we love the piano players. No hate towards them, but like it can be a lot when there's piano playing on the other side, like, you know, different thing, like full classical in here. We're
Mhm.
trying to play like a pop or like, you know,
Remix.
a different genre, and you know, there's bass, guitar, and we're just doing our own thing, and we're like, okay,
Yeah.
we need something organized,
Right.
you know.
Yeah,
Especially like if we're gonna have, if the idea, you know, especially is to have different bands develop, like I want to give space for those too, you
Mhm.
know. So even if we had like, you know, we could even like split it to where sometimes we play in the Gator dance
Right,
and then
yeah.
we just record over there, or we have two different groups, you know, just things like that. Right now we're trying to organize the days to where Mondays are strictly for rehearsal and Wednesdays can be for jamming, for anybody to just come and join us, because we also need that space to rehearse whenever we're about to perform. Like we need that time, you know. And if somebody's here like, teach me guitar, like we'd love to, you know, but sometimes we really need to lock in and just get our sound together and get ready for that next gig. So we just need like those spaces.
I mean, you guys bring up a couple good points, you know, because I've seen it when some people are already on the piano and you'll incorporate them into what you're doing. But then it's, you know, it's not like it's your dedicated space
Yeah.
where it's just for you, so you have to, you know, work with other
Adjust,
people.
definitely.
Yeah,
that
because
are
sometimes
there.
we feel like yes, we incorporate the piano players as well, but sometimes we feel like we have to
Right, yeah,
also,
yeah.
because otherwise it just
It-
sounds like a mess.
Exactly, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this, so to follow up on your question, so even beyond, I said prior to graduation, so the question was, you know, where do you see yourself doing after graduation? What about before you graduate? What do you guys have in mind for Gator Group while you're still in school, but in the future?
For me, I really wish we could perform more, because I love the spotlight. I want to sing. I want to get out there.
Mhm.
You know, I want to, you know, reach the audience. You know, I want them to feel our music and the passion we have for it. And definitely make more songs. You know, we're really
Yeah.
working on making new
Definitely
songs and
publish.
uploading them. And I feel like everyone, at the end of the day, I want everyone to learn something
Yeah.
that they've been meaning to learn. So for me, it's like, you know, for an example, like whistle notes or something, you know, by the end of the day, I want to hit those whistle notes, you know, they're going to help me do it. And I wish everybody learned something at the end of the day when, you know.
Yeah, we want somebody to like we want y'all to like make goals, and we can shoot together, you know. We can do it. And then of course like we're working on making the Victor Wooten's like trip. We're working on making that a regular thing so that, you know, everybody gets that like that
Opportunity.
same feeling, that that experience of what it's like to just be with several very experienced like musicians.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There were like 100 How many people were there?
I think probably about maybe 60 or 70 for the
70,
actual
yeah.
camp. For the work week, that was the largest work week I've been to. There were probably about maybe 20 people, about 20, 25
20,
people for the
25.
work week. But yeah, I think the camp, for the jam camp, I think it maxes out about maybe 60 or 70.
That's a lot of people
Yeah,
to
it's a
think
lot.
about it. And they're all like artists and
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, musicians.
Yeah.
What about you, man? What do you for your coming up closing semester? What in the future? What
I
would you
know
say?
I'm so close to. I'm knocking on the door now. For me, really, just to make more memories with these guys. Simply for the fact because like they know I'm always like in 100+ clubs and always running and doing this and that. But I still always make sure I have time for them. Simply for the fact because like this group is very special. And not only that. Simply for the fact because like we all just really genuinely like enjoy just what we're doing. Like other clubs I'm also in, it's a different setup obviously, so it's a little bit more intense versus this one is a little bit more laid back. So that's also a nice change of pace as well. But yeah, as far as the group itself, hopefully whoever comes behind me, I just want to make sure they feel comfortable to take on my role as well, and see whatever I can do as an alumni to be as hopefully as impactful as I can be, because I am so close to graduating, which will be this December. And by the way, check us out this October, Tuesday, October 31st. At the Halloween Bash at the Wellness
You
Center.
guys are performing there?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We will be
I'll
performing there.
I will be
Axel.
there.
What about you, so Axel? So future Gator Groove hopes, dreams, but prior to graduation.
No, yeah, I mean, I guess like I want to create that system, for the next person. I want to have that done so that they have something to follow, kind of look at, and hopefully get into more events.
Yeah.
Like, I want to maybe do something for Dia de los Muertos. That'd be really cool. Some Christmas songs. We have to I want to get more into like that holiday thing.
The holiday vibe.
Speaking of which, by the way, check us out this December at the concert chorale concert. We will also be playing there. That would be November 28th at 6 p.m.
Yay!
It's awesome.
So yes, come check us out this October and this November. We hope to see you there. And yeah.
That's awesome, guys. Do you guys have any closing remarks?
Well, follow us on Instagram, UHD Gator Group, and if you guys ever want to sing, play any instruments, feel free to come by. We're not gonna bite y'all, so we got No, we will all have a lot of fun. President, you have something to say?
I don't know, just jam with us.
Yeah.
Bring your guitar, bass, whatever, or
Just
if you don't
bring
got
the
those things, I mean, you can DM us too. I have an extra guitar. We'll lend it to you.
Anybody just coming by, just like just coming by. Like, school is stressful enough. Like, that's another reason why I like this group as well, because it's very easy going. We can just play, or we can just chill, and I think we're serving our past president's vision really well, by able to have the opportunity to bring people together, but also like creating an environment that's safe for a multitude of different people.
I think for me, and we were talking before we came on air, just about family stuff. And for me, I am so proud of these guys because it is not easy, especially when an organization is so young, getting it up and established. So definitely, appreciate everything that Irvin did this first year doing that. And now Axel's been running with it, leading it, and all the other members of the group have come around to really help, push the vision forward. But especially on the trip to Tennessee, it's, they were there, and Indi mentioned there were some young kids there, but it's primarily or predominantly a camp for adults that are there, and all the other participants of the camp were saying great things about the students that were there on the trip, and definitely were examples in how much they were working and the example they set. And so it was definitely, for me, been great to see this group really grow as musicians, as people, and be good examples of UHD students. And so, yeah, so that would be my thing. I've just been immensely proud of these guys. So.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for coming, guys. This has been really awesome.
Thank you so
really
much for
liked-
having us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Thank you.
having us.
Appreciate it. Yep.
Yeah, I'll stop by Gator Den one day.
All right.
When I'm out of class. But yeah, this has been UHD Radio's Music at the Marsh. I'm Sam. Make sure to follow us on UHD Radio on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, on Twitter at UHD_iRadio. And thank you. This is closing time.
Me too.
Thanks, guys.
It was so nice to meet you, Sam.
Yeah.
You did so great.
Thank you.
Bye, God. We'll learn closing time, and then next time we'll play it live.
No way. That's awesome.
Is that still going?
Yeah, I'm on my way there.
That's awesome. Awesome job.
If you guys do an event, I could like shoot a video for you guys for UHD Radio.
Yes, yeah, we would love that actually.
We have, you know, I need to mention. I'm going to say this on air. We have Mama Gator, Aunt Rochelle, in the studio. So.
Yes, ma'am. She
Yeah.
is the best.